Modern Fighter Prismatics may very well be ugly. Attempting to make it look cute just makes it even worse. Okay. But today I'm cycling through them all to pick the very best. So up here we have a tier list of every single Prismatic monster. Not to fear, we do have another 6 to rank 2 over here, which I couldn't fit in because there were that many Prismatic monsters. The images were overloaded, basically, and the tier list thing weren't having it, so we've got 2 tier lists put together today. So first of all, we've got to name as tiers, as always. First of all, we'll have Prismatic Perfectionist up here. It's going over the lines here. That annoys me very much, but we're going to continue. Then we've got Godly Twosome. I don't know why I'm calling it that, but we're going with that too. We're going to have Whole Few. Then we've got the Falling from the Prism Fame. We had the Falling from Monsters last time, but now we've got Falling from the Prism Fame. Twisting it up a little bit. Then we've got I Don't Think This Is Cool. This is where it's going wrong now. This is where it's going wrong. And then last but not least, we've got Prismatic Failures, which we know already kind of which monsters is going to go in there. You know what? I'm going to actually start off the video by putting the monster in that I know is going to end up here. So we're going to start with Prismatic Tiawa. Prismatic Tiawa is the most ugliest thing on the planet. This for real. When I first saw this design, it's supposed to be inspired by My Little Pony, but I don't see the vibes from it. It looks absolutely hideous, the forms behind it. It's supposed to look cute as well, this. So bear that in mind. When you're looking at this thing, it's supposed to be cute. Whatever the monster handlers had in mind with this, I don't see where it was going. It's on Cloud Island. It looks like it's from Party Island. That's already going against it. Next up, we got Prismatic Bob. Prismatic Bob was an absolute glitched out monster, and that's the only thing that I can remember from this. When it came out, it was that ugly. I don't understand at all how it was released in that form. One of the Prismatics as well weren't available at the time. I think it was the orange one. This is where it's going wrong, honestly. I think the design is okay, but just the memories of this, I think it's honestly not in the not cool section, but we got to put it down there. Prismatic Bicinerus. I love duo monsters. When we have a pairing where monsters just have 2 duos like Strombonin or Bon Appetit, I love those kinds of monsters, and seeing the fish take on this one was actually quite cool. I feel like this one doesn't quite encapsulate as well though the design kind of side of it, and I do feel like this Prismatic isn't too cool, even though I really love the Twosome duo and the fish likeness to it. So I'm going to put Falling from the Prism Fame for this one. Oh, another one which looks like it should be on another island, honestly, though, that one. The different fishes make it look like it should be on Party Island. Just again, I don't see it fitting the cave vibe totally. I see the waterness of it, seeing as though it's supposed to be from the Cave Island waters, but it still looks like it's from Party Island to me, and I can't change that. Prismatic Boscus. Very weird, this one. Again, it looked like it's wearing tights to me, and I've always presumed that with it. And also, its nose doesn't look like a nose anymore. It looks like a hose pipe to me. The coloring of this, it looks so weird, and I just don't think this is really cool, and I think this might be where it's going wrong. Honestly, the Prismatics have not going very good so far. Let's find a Prismatic that can go in the upper bit now, because we've got quite a few in the lower tiers. Now, these are Prismatics, so do bear in mind, I am going to be a bit generous with the upper section, otherwise no one will end up there, okay? The rares and epics in My Singing Monsters are certainly the ones that you do go with, but I do get where the theme is though, behind these potentially not being the best. I mean, the concept of them all being different colors is probably quite really hard to do, and therefore, when they do get it right, it's honestly quite impressive, because the conceptualization behind this idea just makes it so hard to implement in the first place. Prismatic Bogart though, I really like this one. I like the spider webs, and it reminds me of Oraculele a lot. Just the ant vibe too really actually fits Cave Island's tone. Therefore, I'm gonna put it in the Godly Twosome, maybe. I think I might be going a bit too far. I'm gonna put in the Cool Few. I'm supposed to be aiming for the top section now, and I just completely wrecked myself there and went ahead and put in a lower one again. We'll get there eventually, okay? Oh, we got Prismatic Candelabra. This one, straight up Prismatic Perfectionist one here. Now, with Prismatic Candelabra, we've got the obvious callback to its water-based design for Candelabra when it was going to be the water quint, as you can see inside of its concept art. Not just that, though, the different seashells on it, and obviously just capturing the Candelabra goddess tierness behind this monster is done done perfectly with this. Prismatic Clamble, we can't even see the design here that well, but obviously we're going to have images and stuff on screen, so that will help out. But I think for this one, we're going to just put them in. I don't think this is cool. It's jelly again. It reminds me of Prismatic Furcon again. Just for this one, it felt like it had already been done before. I get the more space take compared to Prismatic Furcon, but it just feels like Prismatic Furcon again to me. I didn't really see the new ideas coming through with this one, because we like seeing new stuff, and this just felt like it was redoing Prismatic Furcon over here. Prismatic Furcon, therefore, I think deserves to go in the Falling from Prism theme section, just on top of where Prismatic Clamble is. I don't like this design too much either. It doesn't really fit with me. I like how they've gone with the alienness of it. I think it suits Space Island a lot more. When it's on Point Island, though, it looks weird. Kongle, I don't know, man. I don't know. I see these eyes on its basing, and it creeps me out. All of these creep me out, alright? That's no news. Obviously, they are really disturbing, some of these. But Prismatic Kongle is just on the basing, and I can't. The eyes, especially the yellow one, it just freaks me out. Attempting to make it look cute just makes it even worse. Okay. I think that's what we've learned from Prismatic Tiara. I think I'm gonna go, this is where it's going wrong. That one's definitely going wrong. Cypop though, oh no, no. This one is another one. It's just Cypop, it's supposed to be mechanical, and when you're attempting to make it almost look living, it's that thing where you don't like it because it's attempting to be human-like when it's not. I can't remember the exact phrasing, the word behind that, and I don't like it when things do that, when they're obviously not supposed to be. I guess it's supposed to be another creature, and My Skin Monsters is all of these monsters, but just to me, when it's supposed to be a robot in the first place, it just doesn't sit well with me. Therefore, it's going in the... I almost put in the cool few section. No, we couldn't do that. I don't think this is cool. No, actually, this is where it's going wrong. This section is just going to be completely filled out by the time we're done. Oh no, this is another one where there's eyes on the bottom, and this is just in the wrong place for this kind of a thing. Oh no, I shouldn't. I don't think I should have gone that far. I like the dandy florets and what they've done there. The acid and the different compartments to it. The brains inside of it. Like that. So therefore, just the falling from prism frame section, I think is where this is going in. Oh, Prismatic Deej, yes, finally a good one. We can talk heavenly about this one. Love it. It's got a really cool keyboard. Why didn't they do anything with the keyboard for the epic and rare versions? They honestly needed that. It's perfectionist here. The quads and quints seem to be reigning supreme, I think, with the designs. If we go ahead and compare them at the end, I think we're going to definitely have lots of quads up there. I really like how they changed the trunk kit, the DJ kit at the back of Deej, to something completely different. It's just a different instrument now. We love that so much. And the different alphabet symbols on it, yes! Love the lore on that. We don't know what on earth those mean still, but maybe they mean something. Drumpler now, with different horns too, and the spoons. Not vibing it, to be fair. Another one where I'm like, it's a really cool design, but also it's just disturbing. What do we take away from this video? The prismatics in general are just disturbing. I feel like we need to do it some justice though. It's got a cool take to it. It's supposed to be based on food. I get it, it's Drumpler, I see where you're going, so we gotta give them a bit of credit, so we're just gonna put them in the Falling from Prism fame section. Prismatic Edameme. When this one came out, I was shocked because lots of people were giving this a lot of hate, but to me, you know what, I think these designs are okay. I think that honestly, it's probably one of the best Prismatic designs we've had. I get it, it's creepy, that's probably why everyone was dreading it a little bit, but to me, I actually think this is quite cool. We got the tin cans on there rather than the instrument. You got the scarecrow design. It's supposed to be quite horror-like, a bit like Schlep this, but it does it really well. So therefore, I feel like we've got to give this one a bit of credit, and it's got to go in the Godly Twosome tier. I'm having to think back to all of the different colours while I'm doing this, and it's quite hard, but I do like the yellow one best, just because of the eyes being really befitting on this one. But if I had to call out another one, I do quite like the blue one too, and how the eyes just merge together with the design, not as fluidly with that one, and they have the buttons. Enterbrat, this is another one where you've got a mouth and you're just like, no, why put the mouth on the belly? Why would you do that in the first place, come to think of it? That is really weird now I'm thinking of it. Yeah, Enterbrat, you might have this tummy pouch, but I don't want to see the mouth on there. That's really weird now I'm thinking about it. Why did you put the mouth there? I can't deal. It looks... You know what? It kind of looks cute, though, the face. I'll give it that much for the yellow one. The rest of them, though, are hideous. The red one has arms on it. So if you're thinking about this tummy and how it looks so weird on this one, just look at the red one. It has arms on it. Yeah, on the face. Don't even question it. These Prismatics, I don't have a clue what they're doing. It looks kind of cool, this one, though, because it's a quad again. I feel like they felt the compulsion to make it really cool. So honestly, even though I'm questioning it, it's sort of cool for a Prismatic. So, and we're going to have someone up there. So it's in the cool few section. Oh, Prismatic Flugel, thank heavens. Mechanical vibes, love this one to bits. When I first saw this one, I couldn't believe how cool it looked. It seems like with the Prismatics, every time they try and do a mechanical one, it turns out really cool, as we're going to get into with some of the other ones. So therefore, I think they should try and encapsulate on that a little bit more with the future ones, as that nailed it, Prismatic Flugel. I really love the green and yellow ones in particular. They're very similar, these ones, but the different mechanical components and how the mouth is shaped across them is really quite interesting. I love it. Prismatic Flower, I found this one really weird because the rest of them, you can tell automatically what color it's supposed to be, but for the Prismatic Flowers, they all have opposite colors to one another and there's no real prime color behind them. I think it was especially the yellow one. It's got blues in it and it didn't really make sense to me, the different colors that they were supposed to be. I don't know. From a gameplay mechanic standpoint, it's always stood out to me that. I think based on its design though, it should be definitely in the cool few section. It's cute, this, and I feel like this is probably the only one that's got away with being cute, besides one other one what we're gonna get into. But I feel like it gets away with it, and I like the candiness behind it. Pinata, yes please. I like me candies, and Prismatic Flower delivers on it. Swag is a different scenario. We got the horror take again, but I feel like this one, for the red variant that we've got up, is definitely my favourite one. That's why I've chosen it, but the rest of the ones don't go anywhere close to encapsulating the horror-like vibe to it. We got different eyes again, and honestly, looking at the other designs, you've got to place it in the lower section. If I was just basing it off the red one, you know what, I would go ahead and place this in the upper tiers, but the other ones, they don't do it. Just don't fit together that cool, so we got to go in the I don't think this is cool section, because it ain't that cool. Lowl, on the other hand, oh, my sister is going to kill me for this, but unfortunately, I really don't like this design. I think just basing it on the talons itself and trying to encapsulate that with the prismatic design just didn't really flow well with the different colors behind it. It's very texturized, this, even for Dawn of Fire, to the point where it makes me go, it's ugly and I can't unsee this. Please let me out of here. The prismatics in general, please let me out of here. Nightmares, I ride with these. Prismatic kinda, I love the red one. I put it on because I like the neckerchief, this one. The rest of them, I feel like the mushrooms do flow together quite well. The yellow one comes to mind as being that kind of vibe again, where it's trying to be cute, but it's just not cute. And therefore, I think basing it off the red one, that is going to influence my decisions here a little bit, and I'm going to actually place it in the cool few section, only because I really like the red one. Basing it off the blue one, that's ugly. The rest of them, nah, that ain't doing it, but you know what, the red one, I really like it, so it's up in my tier, that one. Krillbit, again, look, these quints serving the look. We got us quints to thank here. The green one is also very professory. I think that one is a very standout one. I think I've chosen the wrong one to represent the prismatic Krillbit here, in all honesty, but I think they're really cool, these designs, so I'm gonna put it in the cool few section, I think. You know what, no, I think it deserves better. Godly Twosome tier. The different variants behind it and personalities, you can see them really shining with this and the vibes that they were trying to take on. With Prismatic Krillbit, unlike the rest of them, I feel like it actually flows together really well, so it's gonna go in that tier. I feel like it also fits all of the islands it's on. It's not like an island representative thing like Candelabra or whatever, where I'm just feeling like it should be on Party Island, that's it. Prismatic Mama, this one fits Cave Island really well. Even though it's ugly yet again, as most of these are, I've gotta say, I do like it, and I think it does suit the Cave Island theme, and not every monster has to be cute cute. It just makes me think, these prismatics, they don't have to be cool. They don't have to be cute. They don't have to be amazing. They can be ugly, but that's something also that the game should take in its pride. It's quite interesting to see when they do manage to do it quite well, and just having a class like this, it's really weird in the first place. Right, Prismatic Mama, I'm going to place, therefore, in the cool fuse. We're filling up the upper tiers now. Thank heavens. I don't know how on earth we're doing this. More absolutely godly twosome tier. I like the jokes to vibe behind it, the material behind it. It's done so well inside of its design. You can see it's supposed to be a rucksack. This one, love it, and the symbols across it. Prismatic Noggin is my favorite prismatic, so that's obviously going in the Prismatic Perfectionist here. But this one, I love the different jelly pops. This is one that just speaks to me. I don't feel like it's something that's going to speak to everyone. The yellow one is absolutely my favorite. I love the different materials inside of it, and the fact that you can see on top of it the different fruits that it's supposed to be based off, like the raspberry one, the blueberry one. I love it so much, and the eyes really complement its design. I really like how they're influenced by the different materials that they have as well. I don't feel like, for example, the blue one, that's really ugly, but I just like the concept behind it, and I can't elaborate on it any more than that. And I love the symbols. That's why it's my favorite. Octopus, I don't think it's cool, but I also feel like it's going wrong. Because hear me out here, the yellow and red ones. Right, red one, put it on screen. It's just ugly. Oh no, the one with the black eyes as well. I can't remember what color that one is. Oh, I don't like that one. That one is really bad. This is where it's going wrong. Prismatic Pango. This is the other one that I was on about, where it's supposed to be cute and it's actually cute. I feel like you can also get the horror vibe from it though, if you look at it from that perspective, because it is a clockwork toy, and I feel like that's a bit horror associated, but to me, I don't really associate with that in my head. I'm gonna put it in the Prismatic Perfectionist here. I really like the wind-up clock at the back of it. That animation adds a lot to this one. Fangler. This was a prismatic that looks different completely to its original design. Really cool. The later stages of the prismatics, how they started to do this. With Prismatic Rootitoot, they did this as well. It's really cool seeing these different takes. I'm gonna go ahead and put Prismatic Rootitoot while we're here. Godly Twosome tier. That one is based on a dragon. You got the different tails behind it, and adding that component to Rootitoot actually fleshes out its design a lot more. And the animations itself, if we could see those in HD one day, that would be amazing. Dawn of Fire on Steam, please happen one day. I'm waiting for it. We're all waiting. Dawn of Fire would be revived that way, guys. Then we also talked about Prismatic Fangler, and we talked about how cool that was. I don't feel like it does it as well as Prismatic Rootitoot, but I feel like it's in the cool few section. It's really cool how they've associated the microphone with the speaker instead, but to me, it doesn't look as cool as Prismatic Rootitoot and the other ones at the top. And also, it's very creepy, so we're going to bear that in mind. I do like how its particles are animated differently, though, across this one, and it feels like this one was probably the most tedious design to animate out of all the prismatics, as it feels like this has the most unique features to me, although in saying that there is quite a few prismatics here, like Prismatic Tiawa, which looks very different, but to me that just feels like it would take a lot more time to do, so I feel like that is something worth mentioning. Then we got Prismatic Pom Pom. I remember when Prismatic Pom Pom came out, at the time we didn't really know what to expect out of prismatics. I think it was the first prismatic triple elemental maybe, and I do see the flower again, ant vibe, very similar thing where we have ants, and yeah, these creepy monsters for prismatics. Obviously they're gonna base it on ants 24/7. That seems to be the case anyway. We're placing this in the, you know, I feel like I'm doing it a disservice. It is based on flowers. That is a pretty cool concept over the pom-poms. I want to put it in the prismatic failure tier because I just don't like the design at all. I do want to give it a bit of credit though, because the yellow one, I like that one, and it's based off roses, that one in it. I like the gold one. All right, I'm going to put it in the, I don't think this is cool. I don't feel like I can put it any lower, or can I? I don't like it though. Oh, it's my tier list. You deal with it. It's going in the, this is where it's going wrong. Pot belly, the bits inside of its pot and the fact that you can see it, I don't know, man. At the time I thought it were really cool, but now looking back on that, that was really ugly as well. Full fuse tier for sure, because it's cool to see that aspect, because we can't originally see that inside of its animations, and I feel like the glass pot idea is a cool one in itself, but again, really ugly. Forester, we like the night vibe to this. The rest of them don't really vary as much with this one. I feel like like they're all very similar, very samey again for this. In comparison to the other ones, you know, they've actually done quite a good job varying them up, but this one's, you know, it's silver consistently across its design. I feel like that doesn't help. I'm going to put it in the Godly Twosome tier still because it's a really good one in comparison to the rest of them anyway. Quibble. This is one that is actually going to be very different compared to the rest of them because the rest of them have been very much based off the designs themselves, but Prismatic Quibble, it comes in the fact that it's based on Epic Quibble, and therefore this was done masterfully and it's a Prismatic perfectionist. The link again to it being in My Singing Monsters and not revealing too much about it in the original game, and then all of a sudden coming up with the fact that it's based off the Prismatic itself and that's why we didn't know anything about it, it makes it that god tier. I don't really like the rest of the designs, but I feel like just seeing an Epic at all inside of Dawn of Fire is really cool, so I am going to put it there. Riedling, oh, I've got to give it a bit of credit because it's really cool, but it's also very disturbing, this one. Very disturbing indeed. Not as much as this one. Oh my god, what is that mouth? What on earth have I done choosing that Prismatic Sculpts? Oh boy. Prismatic Riedling, falling from Prism fame. It's cool. I mean, the concept is different, so I'm putting it there just cause it's different, but man, I don't know. Repetillo. The horns, you know what, it's kind of cute when I'm looking at this one. I don't know though. The blue ones, it's ant-like again, its eyes, and it's weird. Should I put it in the cool view? No, falling from Prism fame. Perhaps even lower if we're basing it off the rest of the ones. You know what, I don't think this is cool. Sculpts, that's another failure. I'm sorry. The plunger, okay, we get it. It's based on plungers. Finally having that, okay, it's cool. It's furry, it's a mess, it honestly looks run down. Not got a lot going for it, that one, bless it. Prismatic Shelby, I like the stars on that. I really like the planets too. Alien, it actually vibes. The alien vibes with this one. It's not like the rest of them where it's too much. I like it. Perfect flow, nice stars, we love that one. Shrub on the other hand, this is just where it's going wrong. I look at these designs, the purple one freaks me out. I feel like it does again deserve a bit of credit, just based off it being this aquatic-like creature, but I just can't possibly give it any more. Sousa, you know what, we got a twosome duo again. I like the idea of making its instrument alive too, so I'm gonna give it a bit of credit, and I'm gonna put it in the cool view, just based off the instrument itself. Again, we got a very creepy take to it, but you're making it a twosome. I love duos, and Prismatic Sponge is where the duos comes in and really shines. Sponge, I'm gonna put it in the Prismatic Perfectionist here. I love the creature inside of it. When I saw those creatures, it really shocked me at first, the idea that they had behind them and making them float. It really fits Space Island so much, and getting to see those unique creatures inside of them. The yellow one inside the blue one is so cute. Had to choose that one. We've also got the elephant one, I believe, inside of the green one, isn't it? Dog, again, I feel like I need to put it here. It's amazing that. I love the mechanical vibe to it. This was without Epic Stog, by the way, so do keep that in mind. I feel like Epic Stog honestly stole from Prismatic Stog, honestly, but it rightfully did because the Prismatic one is so cool. Mechanical, again, you see the mechanical ones always win, whether it's from Pango, Deej, Flugel, Stog. Honestly, all of us Prismatic Perfectionists here is mechanical ones, just because of how cool they are. Tyrox. Is it creepy? Yes, it's creepy MPG, but it's also supposed to be based off a plush, and some of them are okay. Therefore, it's got to be mediocre. I don't know. I don't think it's cool, alright. The patchwork behind it, again, very creepy. I do see the plush side to it, though, and it is something that I do like the concept behind again, so even though it's not too cool, the concept, yeah, pretty cool. Prismatic Frumble, absolutely godly twosome tier. Very amazing the ways in which these designs flow together. The blue one comes to mind too. I really like these. All of the colours for this one are really cool. For all of these upper tiers, all the colours are just amazing. Prismatic Fumpies. I really like the fact that they called on all of the Fumpies. There's different kinds of Fumpies from the original Fumpies game, and the Prismatic ones called upon pretty much every single Fumpies ones, and I believe they made up some new ones too, so just in terms of the lore, we got some really cool stuff there. Not sure how that links to the Fumpies verse and how those were accessed in in the first place, but it's pretty cool. I like it. It's a cool view. Can't rate it any higher because you got to give it a bit of leeway, I feel, because of the design itself. If they did it better, though, I feel like it could have been around Godly Twosome tier. It's just the actual stomps themselves, what the Thumpies got on it. Ain't that cool? Prismatic Train, yes, another mechanical one. We'll place them in the Godly Twosome tier. Unfortunately, we've run out of room now on its original table because there's that many Prismatics and the Dawn of Fire sprites. Let me tell you, those things are HD. HD. The resolutions are crazy on those things. If we're going on Steam, you guys, your minds would be blown behind how highly resolutionized Dawn of Fire could be if it was put on Steam. I tell you, it needs to happen. Jammer, I also really like this one. Then again, the red one and its eyes, that's pretty creepy. The blue one, I feel like is making me leeway towards it putting it higher. So therefore, I'm going to have to give it the benefit of the doubt and actually put in that I don't think this is cool section. Tweedle, I'm sorry, I don't like it. The red one is the best one, and that's saying a lot. Waddle, another technology-based one. What reigns supreme? The Prismatics with tech. That's what we've learned today, and therefore we're putting it here. It reminds me of Pixelotl a lot, this one. The eyes itself, really cool. I really like the different sunglasses that you have on some of them too. I love sunglasses. We've got to have sunglasses on some kind of monster. That would be amazing to see one day. Prismatic Yelmo, I don't feel like that has a lot going for it, so it's honestly going to go with Jammer, I think, inside of the I don't think this is cool section. You know, the bandana, and it is cool how it's got an egg on top of it, but I can't really rate it just based on that. It is ugly. Nevertheless, I've got to put it down there. T-Grab, do I need to say any more? This thing is based off a flea. A flea. You see, the monster handlers, they just know that these things are ugly, I feel like. That's why they're basing it off fleas, and this is just the right one to end on, ain't it? I mean, Prismatic failure, automatically. This thing, it's a flea. It's a flea. What more does this summarize other than it being a Prismatic failure? And that, my guys, is a Prismatic tier list. That took a lot out of me, let me tell you. I can't believe these creatures being a monster class. It still bewilders me. Anyway, though, guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like and to subscribe down below. Let me know what your favorite Prismatics are in the description. If you want to leave your tier list, go ahead. But I tell you, there's 49 of these things and uncounting. So you've got a lot of work cut out for you if you want to make one. That's all I have to say. See you later for now. Bye, guys.